getting paid.
Okay. You've said that the lies have been going on for 10 years or longer, but you have admitted to lying to the people for a year and a half. Why in that year and a half were you lying to them? Why didn't you stop it sooner? Why didn't you tell them the truth sooner?
In this sentence, are you quoting? I am referring to the fact that I was not brave enough to change this line. I came into my office 1.5 years ago. This is why I use this term. Half years later, at the beginning of the 2005, I addressed the Hungarian Parliament, and I was spoken that, you know, what we are doing is false. We are not brave enough to tell the truth. And it was not understood by anybody. And it was misunderstood by my fellows, my party fellows, and by my opposition. It was clear that it's not enough just to speak about this phenomena theoretically, but we need to implement some radical changes. But that time, I was not in a situation in which I had the opportunity to initiate these deep reforms, and I just made some small steps ahead.
The reality was you were lying because you wanted to be re-elected. I mean, you needed to perpetuate the lies, otherwise your party wouldn't be re-elected.
If we just implement some budget adjustment, I thought at that time, and I think it now also, it's not an appropriate program because it has to go together with some structural reforms. And 1 year before the next election, it's not a good time for any structural reforms. And
to tell the truth.
The truth that we need reforms. We are not able to invest more into the social affairs. This is what I was campaigning with. I have not promised that time any new social program to the people. This was the main difference in the last 1 year in Hungarian politics. I was talking about the investment, renewing Hungary and structural reforms, and another part of the Hungarian era continued the old-fashioned politics. It was a real question.
But in that time, the budget deficit was high. You were telling the people, that the opposition politicians who were saying the budget deficit is high, don't listen to the Prime Minister. You were telling them that's wrong, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
That was bold-faced lies to the people. And you weren't strong enough not to lie.
We did everything what we could for meeting the deficit criteria in the budget. When we overrun this deficit last year, we were talking about publicly. We did not hide it at the end of the previous year. At the beginning of this year, I always repeated, if I see any cause to intervene, I will. It's true that after the first half months of the year, it started to become more and more clear that the original target cannot be maintained.
In that time, in that year and a half when you were lying to the people, what's going through your mind? You know you're standing in front of your countrymen and you're not telling them the truth and you're supposed to be leading them. What's going through your mind? How do you feel about it?
I felt responsibility that we should we should launch the new period. Because what I'm speaking about is not about figures and data. It's about some kind of attitude that we let people believe that we, the government, can make them rich and can give them a fortune as a gift. And we try to avoid to make them face the obligation that they are responsible for themselves. These are the lying I'm speaking about, not about concrete figures or data.
But you've violated the fundamental tenet of what politicians are supposed to do, which is be honest with their people. You've violated that. How can you expect them now to respect you and say, okay, carry on, Mr. Prime Minister?
No. It's much more complicated. It's much more complicated.
But it's okay to lie?
It's much more complicated.
Well, is it okay to lie?
If you talk to your wife, if you talk to your friends, and you try to argue them or persuade them for changing your life, and you are addressing or delivering the very dramatic monologue for, please understand, we need some changes. In this monologue, you are simplifying the facts. You use the very strong emphasizes. It's private persuasion for your private fellows to change what as you understand, that we took in the people it's not the real truth. Now, when I'm speaking about lying, it means that we were not brave enough facing the country, the necessity of reforms. It's not about hiding.
So why
some
should you be the
figures
man